What a player, TSW here, and oh my god, this looks like World of Warcraft. You'd be right. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the changes to the warrior in patch 5.2, more specifically with regards to protection and PvE and the normal stuff that I cover. So now I've not done a WoW video in ages, so make sure you let me know in the comments and also give the thumbs up button some love if you want me to post more WoW videos. It would be a great indication to me, to know what kind of stuff you guys want. So in this video, I'm going to go over, the changes and my opinions and, a little bit of insight as to, why maybe they've been changed and, whether or not I like it or not. So let's start off with, I'm not going to go through everything with the warrior, just, more protection-based stuff. The benefits of haste from items and consumables have been increased by 100% for all warriors. It just means that to rival crit a little bit more. So haste and crit, there's not a massive difference, but crit still better, as far as I'm aware. Blaze Storm now provides immunity to disarm whilst active. That's kind of cool for PvP. Doesn't really do anything for PvE. Defensive stance now reduces damage by 15%, down from 25%. If you just had a quick glance at the PTR patch notes, you'd be like, fuck. But if you glance a little bit further, Unwavering Sentinel now improves the damage reduction of defensive stance by 10% for protection warriors. So if you're speccing into protection, you get the 10% back from Unwavering Sentinel. So that's fine. It just means that if you're not a tank, or not tank spec, you lose out on 10% reduced damage. So don't be scared. I remember when I was scrolling through the patch notes a few weeks ago when this was put on the PTR, I was like, okay, shit. Read the next line. Okay. So Shockwave has now a 40-second cooldown, up from 20 seconds, so it's been doubled. Striking 3 or more targets will reduce its cooldown by 20 seconds, so back to what we're used to. This is... it obviously for PvP. Oh god, shut up! It's one of my add-ons going. Which add-on is? I don't even know what add-on it is. Anyway, where was I? It's obviously for PvP. Because Shockwave with 20-second cooldown is pretty good in PvP. But I mean, I'm gonna miss it having a 20-second cooldown in PvE, most definitely. Because it's nice when there's one mob or two mobs, aka less than, where is it? So I want to highlight it to emphasize 3 mobs. It's really nice to be able to stun them and still have the 20-second cooldown. So it would be nice if they could do something like, where am I looking? Spells. That's the talent bit. Like we've got Unwavering Sentinel here. If they could just add on to that passive, reduces cooldown of Shockwave by 20%. So for protection, it stays the same, and for Fury and Arms, it has the difference because it's a nerf to prot warriors, and it's like the prot warriors, like they're waving the flags, like we don't PvP, and it's like cheers Blizzard. But anyway, like it's not a huge difference, and 99% of the time, or 90% of the time, well, it depends what you do in the game. If all you do is raid, it's like 99%. If you're like an average player, it might be like 70%. But anyway, a lot of the time, it's like I use it on a single target just for the stun, because it stuns the target for 3 seconds, which is great. If I'm low on health, I'm gonna stun it, and I'd be less inclined to stun it now because it has a huge cooldown. Well, 40-second cooldown. That's huge, especially if you mess it up as a prot warrior. Like I did a dungeon, like if there were 3 targets in front of you, you're like, okay, cool, I'll Shockwave, and because I'll get the cooldown reduced, and it's like, okay, cool. Say one of the targets die before you've finished pushing Shockwave, you're screwed. If people start pulling more mobs, you just got you like thunderclap and your heroic leap. So it makes tanking a little bit harder, but I mean, you just kind of get used to the fact that Shockwave may have a 40-second cooldown. just be aware of that, because it's a pain in the ass when you don't have Shockwave. Okay, so that's my rant over and done with. So to recap, just give us 20 second reduced cooldown, please. Second wind now generates 15 rage, was 20. Over 10 seconds, and the health regeneration effect will pause whilst the warrior is stunned. Again, just for PvP. Well, it's not just for PvP, it's for everything, but I mean, it's been changed because of PvP. It's not really going to affect us that much. Tanks don't generally get stunned, and when they do, well, you're not going to get the heal. So there's the nerf for PvE tanking right there. If you are stunned, you won't be healed, so bear that in mind. Although generally, if you're a warrior, when you get stunned, you're going to take a shitload of damage, so that sucks. Like in a 5-man, if you're getting stunned, like that sucks. It just means that it's nerfing second wind a bit, just so it's a bit closer to the power of the other two heals, which are getting buffs, which I'll talk about when I get to it. Warbringer now reduces the target's movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds, 8 seconds in PvP. In addition to the effect, the 3-second stun knockdown is now in the diminishing return category for stuns, same as Shockwave and Stormbolt. Okay, so we don't have to worry too much about the diminishing returns. Just be mindful that if people are trying to stun the target, and you have Warbringer spec'd, this one here, their stuns are gonna not last as long, or your stuns, depending which order you do them. But yeah, like the movement speed is pretty cool. I like that. Say you want to kite a mob forever. There's certain encounters where, as a warrior, you'll be kiting. Spec'd with Warbringer, you can charge the target. The mob, whatever, will melee swing you, and just run away. And that target is slain for 15 seconds. And charge with Warbringer has a 20-second cooldown, so you can basically charge again in 20 seconds, and they'll be slain for 15. So as long as you move a distance, so the target in the 5 seconds they're not slain doesn't catch up to you, you can charge every 20 seconds and just take one melee swing, is what I'm trying to say. It's pretty cool. I could demonstrate it to you, seeing as this is like a video and that, and this is like live. So I'll go over to a mob and hopefully it'll work. Show you how it works. So let's auto fly for a bit and talk about something else. Shield barrier now scales approximately 10% less efficiently with attack power. So this is a expected nerf to shield barrier. It just means that when you get better gear, shield barrier doesn't all of a sudden absorb like a shitload of damage. Think of it as, if you're doing a 5-man heroic in really good gear, you can just use shield barrier and you'll take like no damage, and you can just go 4 DPS in the tank. It just means that it doesn't get silly, the amount of absorption you get. So let me show you this Warbringer thing. So he's slain, and I can just run away. Oh, because of the stun. Wow, I forgot about that. Because of the stun, well, he's going to start running away in a bit. But anyway, he's going to get out of combat with me. Because of the stun, I don't even take a melee swing. So that's really good. So he's still not hit me once yet. It's coming off cooldown. Oh, and he runs back. But hopefully you get what I mean. If this was like an instance and the mob didn't reset, I could have charged again. He would have been stunned. Because he's stunned, he can't melee swing me, which is, I thought he'd just melee swing me, but, because he's stunned, he can't melee swing me. I can just run away again. He's slain in 15 seconds, 20-second cooldown charge, infinitely kite in a 5-man, as long as it's just one mob. That's great. That's amazing. That's really good. Like, be mindful of this shit. And, when you're doing the new 5.2 bosses, there might be an encounter where that's relevant. Probably not, but, I mean, just, save that card for when you need it. What else we got? Stormbolt now deals 125 weapon damage, up from 100. Wow, I'm not sure if you saw that, because I've got half the screen covered. Obviously, when I'm playing, half the screen isn't covered. But anyway, Stormbolt now deals 125 weapon damage, up from 100. It just means that, it means that you can actually use, more likely to use Stormbolt, because it's like an ability that no one actually uses ever. So I'll try and show you it again. I'll use my heroic throw, just so he stays in combat, hopefully. So use my heroic throw on him. Did a bit of damage. So I've got 4 seconds left. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and I can charge again. Yeah, so just infinitely kite him. It's all good. You see charge down here. 15 seconds left. Let's just run away so he resets. So I can shut him out actually, because Night Elf's OP. Enraged regeneration now costs 30 rage, down from 60. So this is great. I mean, I didn't generally use enraged regeneration. I mean, it's good. That's the main reason, because a lot of the time I'm just rotating shield block, so I'm taking less damage. And a lot of the time I don't have spare rage to use. And I also am one of these guys that use Berserker Rage like every cooldown, just so I have more rage for shield blocks. But yeah, like just having the cost go from 60 rage to 30 rage is quite huge, and I like it a lot. Like it's good. It's a good change. Yeah, it's good. Like I don't want to get too technical and start talking about like specific encounters and whatnot, but there definitely are times where because it's been buffed, I will definitely use it. Let's put it that, yeah, it will be used. It will be. Thank you, Blizzard. You've given us a spell or buffed a spell, so it's better that I will actually use. And that's like Blizzard's thinking behind changing these healing abilities for the warrior, so they'll actually be used. Because there's no point in having like an ability if it's never used, is it? Deadly Calm has been removed from the game. I feel a bit sad. You know, we got all these new spells and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, hello, you know, Stormbolt and all these like passives and stuff. It's like Deadly Calm. What did Deadly Calm do wrong? So like Blizzard's thinking behind this is that the warriors have too many spells, and you know need to cut back on these spells, all these fucking spells down the bottom, and you know Deadly Calm wasn't pulling its weight apparently. But yeah, like I don't know, like it didn't do that much. But, I mean, I used it. I had it macroed to cleave and heroic strike. I don't have it macro. Yeah, I don't have it. Well, it's gone, actually. Where was it? Was it N or F1 or F2? I don't know. It was macroed into cleave, though. Where's cleave? Oh, it's not macroed into cleave. What? Oh, it's because it got taken out of the macro. Okay. No? Let me look at my cleave macro. I don't have a cleave macro. Wow. Whatever. Yeah, I'm confused. Anyway, Deadly Calm is no longer in the game. That is the important part, okay? Glyph of Insight no longer activates from Deadly Calm because it's not in the game. Glyph of Insight now activates from Demoralizing Shout instead, which I don't like. I do not like this because Deadly Calm was a counterpart, I suppose, to Glyph of Insight. Glyph of Insight reduces the rage cost either by 10 or 20. And Insight 10 or 20 reduction of heroic strike and cleave, and Deadly Calm was 10 or 20 of heroic strike and cleave. I think it was and cleave. So basically you had 3 heroic strikes or cleaves, and that was great. But without Deadly Calm plus the Glyph of Insight, you no longer get 3 heroic strikes, which sucks because 3 heroic strikes are cool. Don't get me wrong, like I didn't ever really use the glyph. But now, Glyph of Insight is like it sucks. It's worse, even worse. It was a glyph I didn't use, and I'm now even less likely to use it because it now activates from Demoralizing Shout, and Demoralizing Shout is a defensive ability, and Glyph of Insight is an offensive ability. You know, it means my heroic strikes cost less rage. When I'm Demoralizing Shout, when I'm using Demoralizing Shout. Generally, it's because I want to take less damage, yeah? Because it reduces damage on me. I don't really care about, oh yeah, my heroic strikes are now cheaper. And it's like, I don't know. Like, obviously, in the beginning of a pull, if you're doing lots of mobs or whatever, it's nice to have reduced rage cost. And you're going to be using Demoralizing Shout anyway. So that's fine, because just the nature of the scenario, it works. But, I mean, fuck that shit. That sucks. Well, it didn't suck because I don't use it, but I mean, all this shit's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start using these abilities now. Get the dust off the button, start using it, and it's like, kind of failed there a bit, Blizz, but whatever. There might be a scenario that I'm not thinking of, or like different like DPS and shit, but no, I can't think of anything. But anyway, whatever. Glyph of Death from Above no longer increases the damage dealt by Heroic Leap. So what it did was half the cooldown and double the damage. Yeah. So if like I can't help but think a lot of people didn't use Heroic Leap a lot. Basically, if you're doing any sort of AoE tanking, or even single target tanking, single target anything, use Heroic Leap every cooldown. You do more damage, it's great. You do more threats, great. And Blizzard would be like, nah, we don't want that. So got rid of the reduced damage. But you know, it's a nerf, yeah, but still use Glyph from Death from Above if you're doing any sort of AoE tanking. Not any sort. You know, you don't need it all the time, but I mean, it's still, I would strongly recommend it. Reducing the cooldown by 45 seconds. Yeah, that's sick good. Like, no, it takes 15 seconds off, does it? I don't know. It's good. Like, I don't know what's going on here. My glyphs, like my glyphs just aren't here. I don't know if that's because it's PTR or an add-on or what. But anyway, yeah. And the important thing is the damage is no longer there from the glyph, the extra damage, but it still does the cooldown, and the cooldown is more important for tanking. Like, you don't care about hitting high numbers, and it's a nerf, yeah, but I mean, I'd rather be able to use it frequently than it do more damage. So this is the best way for me. It's DPS would hate it because you mean you've got to leap the same amount of time to do the same damage, but I mean, whatever. As it, like, yeah, whatever. Impending Victory will now heal the warrior for 15% of maximum health when you have not slain an enemy, up from 10%. So this is cool. If we go to talents, you know, like, it's pretty straightforward. It heals you 15% even though you haven't got an honorable kill or killed anything that grants XP. It just heals you 15% instead of 10. It's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm just trying to think, would I really use it? Yeah, there are times when I'd use it. Yeah, instead of Second Wind. Second Wind is a really good buffer ability. So when you go low, it just goes, have a bit more health. Have a little bit more health. Go away, add-on. It's like, oh, a little bit more health, a little bit more health. But I mean, Impending Victory, every 30 seconds, you get boom, 15%. Wait a long time, boom, 15%. You can use it whenever. So yeah, that's cool. It does use a global cooldown though, so bear that in mind. Yeah, there definitely are times in raiding and stuff where I'll be more inclined to use Impending Victory because of that. It basically adds an extra 50% healing to Impending Victory, which is great. I mean, that's good. Definitely, like, get out the habit of going for Second Wind. And if you do get Impending Victory, you know, it's not a passive like Second Wind. Get using Impending Victory. You know, when you spec Impending Victory, use it. Don't just be like, oh, Impending Victory is pretty good for this fight. Let's grab it. Never use the keybind for Impending Victory. Get using the keybind. Sick. It's a good move. In most fights, you're going to be healing yourself more through Impending Victory than Second Wind. Because you only spend like a fraction of your time. It depends on healing as well, but on healers and stuff. But yeah, it's up for discussion. It depends on what you're doing. What else do we have? So did the insight thing. Oh, I didn't mention the overpower thing. Obviously we don't have overpower as protection, but it's kind of cool. Die by the sword increases 1 second each time you use overpower, so you're gonna get like what, between 3 and 6 seconds extra duration on your die by the sword, which is cool. Like, I really like that shit. I think that's really cool. The way you can do that, I like that shit. That's cool, Blizzard. That's cool. I like that. I like that, how you can just increase the duration of a cooldown by using an extra ability. It's good. Blizzard, this shit's cool. I like this mechanic. There should be more like it. Glyph Death did that shit. Impending Victory. arms and stuff, yeah, you can read that shit for yourself. I'm not going to dwell too much on it. It's kind of cool though. Protection, the base damage of Shield Slam and Revenge have been increased by 150%, but these abilities now scale approximately 10% less effectively with attack power. Don't be fooled and be like, oh shit, yeah, I'm going to do so much more damage. Oh my god. No, it's the same for Shield Barrier. It's just so your Slam and Revenge don't scale too well with attack power. The extra damage is there just so your Shield, Slam, and Revenge damage and threat doesn't suddenly drop. It's there to like give it a bit of help, and then there's the nerf. But I mean, it does virtually the same amount of damage, same amount of threat. You're not going to notice a difference. It just means that going into patch 5.2, when you get yourself like 1 billion more attack power, where's attack power? You're not going to be doing loads more damage with Shield, Slam, and Revenge. Okay, that's it. There are obviously more changes like raids and quests and stuff. But I'm not going to talk about that in this video. But thanks for checking out this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below, like if you want to see more WoW videos. Maybe you don't want to see more WoW videos. Let me know what's on your mind in the comments down below. And if you're not subscribed, I welcome you to subscribe to my channel. It's pretty cool. Thanks again, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.